Hi, welcome back. I'm Vishwa. As we expected, Nifty stayed inside this channel pattern right here. The one thing that we thought would happen was Nifty would test this point of resistance, this upper trend line of the channel pattern before coming down. But the sellers were really strong here because the buying pressure cannot really continue above the high of this bullish candle. So once the price hit this area, we had sellers pushing down the price really strongly. So the selling candle indicates that the sellers are completely active in Nifty. Since the selling comes from this upper trend line, we can expect this selling momentum to continue further to 14,300 area, which would act as a support level when the price comes down. And the major support if the price comes down would be around this area, this lower part of the trend line of the channel pattern if the price should come down. So Nifty is still bearish, and the selling candle suggests that Nifty is bearish, and we can expect the price to move down and fill this gap by tomorrow. So you can look for selling opportunities in Nifty tomorrow. Moving on to Banknifty, here also we have a selling candle. But this selling candle is not as strong as the one we saw in Nifty, because this selling candle here suggests that there was also some buying pressure in the beginning, and only then the sellers took over. Also, we have a hammer pattern right here, and the price reacted to this hammer pattern. But as we expected, the price reacted to this gap area, and this gap area acted as a resistance when the price went up. And as you can see, the price cannot close over this gap, which would have meant strength for Banknifty. But Banknifty only closed below it, indicating that the sellers are really strong. So even though the selling pressure would continue in Banknifty, we can expect this low of this hammer candle pattern to be the first point of support if the price should come down. And we can expect the price of Banknifty to come down tomorrow, because the selling pressure is really building up pretty strongly, because every single candle has a upper shadow which indicates that the sellers are still active at higher levels in Banknifty. So we can expect the Banknifty to be bearish tomorrow, and it's better to look for short positions in Banknifty. Moving on, let's see some of the stocks that are good for intraday trading tomorrow. The first stock is Tata Power. And in Tata Power, if I draw a line connecting the high and low of this bearish candle, I can see that the price cannot break out of it for quite a while. The price has been trading inside this bearish candle for at least a week. So because every time the price tries to break out of it, we see that the buyers are coming in from the bottom, and also the sellers are coming in from the top, trying to take control. But in the end, both of them are equal in power, and the price cannot move outside of this strong bearish candle, which acts as a consolidation area, the high and low of which is acting as a consolidation area. And finally, the price managed to break out of this area pretty strongly in this bearish candle, in this shooting star candle. But what happened was the price took resistance at the swing point and came all the way back down. So this tells us that the sellers are very, very active and aggressive at higher levels in this candle. But what happened finally today was that the price managed to break out of this area with a strong bullish candle right here. And this strong breakout indicates that the buyers have finally managed to take the price higher, and the buyers are stronger than the sellers that we saw in the previous candle. So we can expect this buying momentum to continue, since it's a breakout of a channel pattern. Since this candle has broken out of this channel pattern, we can expect this buying momentum to continue in Tata Power. So it's better to look for buying opportunities in Tata Power once the price breaks out the prior high. And the next stock on the list is REC Limited. in here the price is currently trading at this swing point resistance, and if you look at it, every time the price hit the resistance we see selling pressure. And not only that, the last 4 candles has a strong upper shadow, and this upper shadow indicates selling pressure. And when this upper shadow comes on every candle continuously, it means that the sellers are really getting more and more aggressive. And more importantly, this comes at a resistance point. And also we have this area of 130, which is a round number resistance. So we have 2 resistances here. One is a swing point resistance and the other one is the psychological resistance, the round number resistance. And we see the sellers are coming in pretty aggressively and continuously from this area, giving us shooting star candles every single time the price hits the resistance. And finally, what happened today was that the price opened pretty strongly above the real body of yesterday's doji candle. Today's open price was really strong and the buyers were pretty aggressive even upon the open of today's market. But what happened was the buyers tried to take the prices all the way up, even above this resistance, above both of these resistances, but eventually the sellers took control and pushed the price back down into the resistance area. So this is kind of like a defeat to the buyers who tried to take the prices all the way up. So this indicates that there is a possibility for Rec Limited to go down tomorrow, with the selling momentum continuing downside. So we can look for selling opportunities in Rec Limited in intraday time frame or when the price breaks down the prior low. Moving on, the next stock is Navin Flower, and here you can see that the price is moving up all the way up to the top. There are no resistances nearby, but the price has a little bit of struggle breaking out of this 3,500 area. So this tells us that this 3,500 area is acting as a resistance. So from these candle patterns we can clearly see how the price struggles to break out of this area, because here we have this very strong bullish candle which indicates that the buyers were completely strong and active all the day. But when the price tried to take out this 3,500 area, we had this selling pressure coming in very strongly. The price has tried to take out this resistance 3 times in a row, and all of these times the price had failed to do so, because every time the price tried to close above it, the sellers are getting active and pushing the prices down below this area. And finally we have this bearish candle, which also happens to be a bearish engulfing pattern. So this bearish engulfing pattern, after the multiple high rejection candles, indicate that there is a very good possibility for Navin Flower to move down tomorrow, to continue in this bearish momentum tomorrow. So we can look for short in Navin Flower. And the final stock we have on the list is Petrol. In this Petrol, we can see that the price is taking this very strong resistance. Here the price has tested this resistance once, twice, thrice and 4 times. So continuously for 4 times the price had tried to break out of this range but cannot really do so. And this strong bullish candle here indicates that the sellers are pretty active and aggressive around this area, because this strong bullish candle tried to go up all the way up even far above this area, but it cannot sustain there. This long shadow here indicates that the sellers are pretty active and pretty aggressive around this area. So this bullish candle suggests that the sellers are strong because we have this long upper shadow at this resistance, which has been tested multiple times. And the next candle, what happened was that this selling wasn't really confirmed and the buyers were trying to take over once again, despite the fact that the sellers were very strong. Okay, that's why we have this bullish candle. But this buying candle is not really strong, so we have waited for the next candle. here the price broke out today out of this very strong resistance area and closed above it. But we have two little issues that we have to consider here, because this candle that broke out of this area has a strong upper shadow, which indicates the sellers are still coming in. So this buying, although closed above this resistance, is not as strong because it also has a selling pressure. And the second thing we have to consider is that even though the price closed above this area, it is still inside this big bullish candle. So the price is currently trading inside the range of this strong bullish candle. These two things suggests that there is a possibility for Petrol to come down tomorrow, because this can be counted as a failed breakout, because although the price broke out of this, it's not really strong. So we can expect the price to move down in Petrol tomorrow, because we can expect that the buyers have lost their strength and the sellers can very easily take over from this point on. So we can look for selling opportunities in Petrol tomorrow. So these are the stocks that we have on the list for trading in Intraday tomorrow. And that's about it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot of new things about how to analyze a stock candle by candle when you're doing a stock filter, and how to use the support and resistances. And if you want to learn more about the strategy, if you want to learn how to decrease your stop loss, how to minimize your stop loss, and how to improve your accuracy and your profit targets, you can join our Candletricks training program and make use of it. So if you like the video, hit that like button and share it with your friends and fellow traders, because it would encourage us to bring you more beautiful and useful contents in the future. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Have a great day. Cheers.